So do you have a, is there a website or do your books go into this where we can correlate the day that we're on with what it means in the Mayan calendar according to the date that you've calculated the calendar by?
Well, yes, it's Mayan magics have these daily, and so does the Mayan calendar portal. They both have the daily energies that anybody can go and look into. And then I have my web page, calleman.com, CALLEMAN.com. And there's a number of articles that sort of presents a little bit of a broader perspective of these daily energies. And, I'd like to add here that the energies of the Mayan calendar, they're always process related. Many people have a fixation within end date, and it's like they think that day everything will just fall down from the sky and a new world or a disaster or whatever it is. And that's not at all how the Mayan calendar works. It's not about any single dates like this, but instead it's a number of different processes, stepwise evolutions which go energy by energy by energy, and we can follow how different phenomena come up and become more and more tangible and real. And so that is, I provide a lot of background to this in my books. And you already mentioned these books and my website I mentioned, and there people can go and buy my books for those that want a broader perspective. And the daily energies are available. Now, when it comes to another calendar, I don't have one for in English for this year, and maybe there will be one next year, and it really should be done. I will work on it.
Okay, great. Now, we may have already covered this in a sense, but I wonder if you could talk a bit about the conscious convergence and what that is.
Yeah, it's an event that we are planning, sort of a start, kickoff even. It's a kickoff for this unity consciousness wave that will be coming later. And I think it's important that with the Mayan calendar that you have an advance. It's like if you're driving your car, you don't look in the street 2 feet ahead of in front of the car. You keep your vision maybe 50 or 100 meters in front of the car. That's how you drive. And it's the same thing here. If we are to go into this unity wave, changing and transforming the consciousness of humanity, we will need to look ahead and be prepared, because stepwise these new energies will intensify, and they will be could come as a big surprise if people are not ready for them. And so these dates, and I refer you to the website commonpassion.org, where we are setting up a forum at this point to prepare for this, to spread information about this. I have a sense this will be a huge global event, a ball is only now starting to roll, and it's the central focus of this is to create the intention of manifesting unity consciousness, or in other words, to align with the energies of the ninth wave that is coming in. And the name, as you may hear, is a parallel to an event that happened in 1987, the harmonic convergence that was promoted especially by Jose Arguelles, and which meant really the first time that the Mayan calendar came to public knowledge. And it was sort of an opening point for a new kind of spirituality that hadn't surfaced before. It meant that people, this whole movement that has existed, that people should experience themselves the spiritual forces, that they should develop their intuition to themselves know how to be guided in the world, rather than having mediators through different churches and so forth that would tell you the way that it is. So it was a shift, and it was it was a preparatory energy, you might say, to the eighth wave, which was the one that started in 1999 and has increasingly brought in a holistic way among large groups of people to look at the world. By no means to everyone, but certainly to a sizable proportion of the Western population. Now, this one then it's a little bit less spontaneous. Of course, people do whatever they like, but as terms of what I will suggest to people and my friends who are working to organize that or facilitate it, I should say, it's more like it's a large component of an intention setting event. So we want to create a presence in the modern society of this intention to manifest unity consciousness. And with that, if it actually happens, and I believe it will, that would create a completely different world. A world that's not based on hierarchies, open or hidden, that separate people in different ways. And the unity consciousness, it's also about seeing the unity between ourselves and nature, and it's seeing the unity between ourselves and the divine light. And these are things that I envision being carried by this ninth wave. And the conscious convergence is about consciously intending to be part of that wave. It actually, the wave doesn't start until in March of 2011, but this will be a very good entry point for to set the intention that will continue ongoingly.
So this is going to be something like a global meditation?
I think, as far as I have suggested, a critical point is this intention setting for people to go inside themselves and ask themselves where they are with regards to this. Because, there's no point in sort of just doing something because your friends do it, or because it sounds good, or because your guru tells you to do it, or something. And to set such an intention from we are now, it must create also some kind of reactions and concerns among people. So I'd really like people to ask themselves authentically if this is a path they want to go. And not, I'm not saying they should come and answer me what they decide, but just so that they know themselves. Because it's not obvious, it's not a given what people are there. But then, based on such an intention, and I'm sure a lot of people will set such an intention, there might, people may do whatever they, at least locally speaking, whatever they feel called to do expresses this. And I'm sure there will be many suggestions. At this point, I don't have too much of it, but just to sort of have people converge on this particular date to create a critical mass, create a presence for this kind of a hope or a future that really, truly the Mayan calendar offers.